Welcome back to Grow Joyfully and Garden Tour Saturday with your host, Grandma Sandy, your co-host, Suffolk Susie, Pat's Garden Life, and Growing on Vancouver Island. This is an open collab that anyone can join. All you have to do is use the hashtag Garden Tour Saturday. Well, here we are again, another week gone. It is the end of July. The garden is all nice and green and lush and growing like it should be. We have the beans growing over the cattle panels. Some of the tomatoes are coming on, especially the chocolate sprinkles, a few of the sun gold cherry, and the Thorburns terracotta is starting to ripen up here in this garden. We have a few out in the pasture garden, but not as many as I expected or hoped. I just had an acquaintance send me a picture of his tomatoes. He actually got plants from me last year, and I gave him a lot of tips on how to grow them. And he just sent me a picture of beautiful, indeterminate tomatoes that are already ripe. So I'm not doing something right. I've got to plant them earlier in the spring and just not be so afraid of them freezing. I know I've had them freeze in the past, so maybe if I just plant some out gradually, they'll be okay. So, what are you doing in your gardens? How are things going? I've already watched Grandma Sandy this morning, and she's had a marvelous purple potato harvest. I'm very excited for her. Very soon, I'm going to harvest the German butterball potatoes and see if there were any results at all. I really don't think I got anything, but we'll have to wait and see. I'm going to make a video out of it. It won't be very long. There's not going to be very many potatoes, but at least it'll be something that we can focus on and perhaps enjoy. The lima beans are growing up. This little makeshift fence that I made for them, and everything is looking nice and green and perky. This bed has yet to take off. Some of the things are starting to do better. There's a broccoli over in the corner, a jalapeno pepper, a cayenne pepper, and I think maybe even a habanada. I'm not sure yet. But patience is the key here. I planted all of these at least more than 2-3 weeks ago, and it's just taking them a long time to hit their stride. So my daughter and I are going to focus today on weed eating the paths of this garden. I'm going to see if there are any blackberries, cucumbers, or beans that need to be picked. And I need to stake up the determinate tomatoes over there in the railroad tie garden. I know that the yellow flesh watermelon is doing really well in the little square box beyond here. I cleaned out the dill over there in the corner of the skinny bed. So I have to figure out a few things that I want to plant again before the season's done. Now, in order to do that, I have to find vegetables that will be ready to harvest within about 60 days, because I'll have all of August, all of September, and maybe the first week or two of October, depending on the year. It could go a little longer, maybe to almost the 13th, the 15th, we'll have to see. So it has to be about 60 days, maybe 70. I wouldn't try any more tomatoes, especially from seed. If I needed to, I still have some in the greenhouse that I could replant, but like I said, I planted these 2 or 3 weeks ago, and they're just not coming on very strong at all. It takes things a long time to hit their stride here, especially things like peppers and tomatoes. But the other crops, like brassicas, lettuce, spinach, beans, carrots, beets, all of those do really well. So I will focus on that in trying to plant, quote unquote, my fall garden. But fortunately or unfortunately, however you want to look at it, my summer garden will still be going very strong. So it's a matter of timing, and I know I need to get my timing better. I think it's all a matter of experience and trying things out. So I'm excited to get started on the day. It's already 9 o'clock and it's going to get hot. So I'm going to get my hat on and wander out there to the railroad tie garden and tie up determinate tomatoes. On my way over there, I'm going to just take a look at things and see how they're doing. I'd like to tie up my beautiful little sweet banana pepper. I'm very excited about that. It seems to be doing well, and I think it's coming on. I was excited to see that the Swiss chard that I planted is actually coming up. Not very many of them, but it'll be plenty. The ground cherries are doing really well too, and they need to be staked up and calmed down and cut back. I really like to plant flowers amongst the vegetables. It's very pretty and it serves a purpose. I think when you plant nasturtiums and marigolds, rosemary and different things, it helps to repel pests. And it makes it look very beautiful, and with the rosemary, smell very beautiful. So I'm going to check some of my carrots that are growing in amongst the nasturtiums. I think picking carrots when they're smaller helps them to be sweeter and crunchier and just a lot more fun. If you want to can or do something like that, then you can pick them larger. Something around this size like this. They're very tasty. I don't even think you need to peel them. I scrub them very, very well. Scrape them a little bit with the back of a knife if I need to, and just eat them fresh or with a little bit of ranch. I really love this color of nasturtium. And take a look at this orange one right here. They are very beautiful. I have orange and yellow ones over here. Time to pick some of these cucumbers. I'm going to keep them small so I can pickle them. Here's one here. Oh no, I did it again. I don't know why I cannot see these that hide. I looked over and over and over this yesterday. It's still usable, or we'll just eat it. I also have to pick these flat Italian beans. Those will make a really good dinner. I'm going to tie up these poor determinate tomatoes. And we have a few pumpkins, Kajari melons, watermelon, and some honeydew growing over there. As soon as I'm finished working out here and my daughter finishes weed eating, I'm really gonna hit this with some water. It gets very, very thirsty. The garden does look very lovely. And there's a very lovely smudgy right there. My kitty cat. He's a great kitty cat. And he knows his name. Come here, buddy. Oh, yes, come here. Come here. Oh, my boy. This tomato plant is a Payette dwarf. It's part of the Dwarf Tomato Project. And the seed comes from Snake River Seed Company. The seeds are supplied to a co-op from farms around this area. And it's one of the first dwarfs, maybe the only dwarf that I've grown. I have grown a micro dwarf before, and it was called a Tom Hat. I tried to grow it in the greenstock planter, and it did okay, but not wonderful. I still haven't had many results from this dwarf tomato. This is only the second year that I've planted it, but it has a couple of blossoms, and it is a determinate, as is the beefy purple. And this is a beefy purple, the Mountain Princess, and the 42-day tomato. I've got all these tied up except for the 42-day tomato, and I'm just at the end of my jute. I have some coming in the mail, but it won't be for a day or two. So I'm not going to be able to tie up any tomatoes for a little while. I've been doing a lot of tying up, so I think they'll be okay. I'm fertilizing them, and I will run the water on them. But I still don't understand how to prune a determinate tomato, and if you do prune a determinate tomato. I think a lot of people prune some of the leaves down here to prevent the water splashing back on their leaves. But other than that, I think they leave all the suckers and the branches and things that grow. So if you have any different information, please let me know down in the comment section. And I do read your comments and I do appreciate them. I have all the paths weed-eated and it just looks and feels so much better. I'm sitting in Ruthie's pavilion, just trying to have a little bit of quiet time in my beautiful garden. Well, it's after 3 o'clock and I'm tired. I got a lot done, a lot of things tied up, fertilized, and definitely watered. They were so thirsty. I actually planted a few things too. I planted a few cucumbers and I planted a few cabbage seeds, so we'll see how that comes out. I picked some green beans, a couple of little tomatoes, and some dill. I also picked, where'd they go? About 6 chocolate sprinkles. I sent about 6 with my husband yesterday when he had meetings, and he was very happy about it. Time for me to go in and rest up. A nice summer day, starting to be a late summer day. I'm simmering some blackberries and some strawberries so that I can make some jelly. I think my husband and I are going to go get in the car after I get cleaned up and stop a little gift bag by each one of our grandkids' house and just touch base with them and try to hug on them and have a little company from loved ones. We're so glad that our second son and his wife and child live with us right now. It's great. It's good for me. And our youngest daughter lives with us too, and I don't know what I would do without them. I hope all my kids know how incredibly important they are to me, and all my grandkids and my husband and my sister and brother and all my loved ones. I hope you have a happy and lovely day. Thanks for coming by for this garden tour Saturday, and we will see you on the next video.